Okay. Welcome back if you're not new, and welcome if you're new. I'm painting, of course, as always. And before this video really starts, please like and comment and subscribe and that stuff because, it means a lot to me, and it would be really nice right now. That would just be cool because I think this is a very great painting. I really think this is one of my best paintings. And yeah, here's how it started with the trying to do a sculpture coming out of a wooden board. And this was pretty easy, just some screws and a screwdriver. Or not a screwdriver, I mean a screw gun. Is that a thing? Anyway, yeah. I got these two wooden 2x4s attached, and it hopefully worked. It sat on pretty
don't
good.
mind the mess.
And then I tried
if
with
you
chicken
hear what I'm
wire
saying,
and metal wire and screws
Sure.
also,
Sure.
but it just turned out
I've
bad.
been working on
Really, really
armature,
bad.
the
And this is
skeleton.
only supposed to be the skeleton,
And
of course,
I
but
don't know if this is
I could
gonna
just
work.
already see by then
So
that it was gonna be
like,
shit.
hopefully
that's why,
this will work. And if it doesn't work, I'll just
I ended up scrapping it.
destroy it and burn
It's
it.
gonna be a bit of a spoiler,
Probably.
but of course you definitely already knew that from the thumbnail.
gloves
And
are
my gloves were completely totaled.
Fucked.
They're just dirty, and
More nails and
the
all this
bowl
stuff
with the
is
screws in was
on a
nearly
bike and
full.
stuff, and
But I
it's
just
gonna
used so
work,
many
hopefully
on different
I
things,
hope.
and yeah,
It hopefully it works.
definitely didn't
But,
work. And
that's how
this
long
is
I am
really
right
fine.
now,
It's okay
and
because sometimes you need to fail to actually create something
I'll
good.
give you a better look later. But
And I think this time I really learned something by failing. And yeah, so I went back to the things I know work, which is paint and painting. So I had already started this piece, and I just started with the hand or the claw coming out of the right. Right side, top of the canvas, and I was like, what do I do now? And then I got the idea of the claw being like holding the head of the character. And then I just started doodling a bit, and then it just turned out pretty great actually. But like most of my great paintings, I didn't have a sketch beforehand. I didn't really have any plan. I had some kind of a plan. I always kind of have a plan, but not really have a plan. I don't do sketches a lot. Like, if you've watched any of my other videos, which you definitely should if you haven't, I don't really use my sketchbook like a sketchbook. I use it like just paper in general. And yeah. So I always start with the underpainting and where the thing's gonna be, which is kind of like a sketch actually when I think about it. I start that out in white so I can kind of lay out the character and how it's gonna be. But this is also because I usually use very red or black backgrounds, or this kind of half red black quick streaky brush thing. And I'm definitely going to do more like this because I think this turned out really great. Because it seems less controlled, which it was. It was much less controlled, but still in some way controlled, if I'm going to be honest. But I guess that's the magic about, not the magic, but that's the thing about my art especially. It's like, it's pretty chaotic, but it's still kind of controlled. It doesn't look very controlled, but it kind of is by me. At some level, it has my input and control over how it's gonna be. And if you are the sharp viewer, will notice the little hole in the palette, and that's because when I removed the armature skeleton of the sculpture, the ones you just saw like some minutes ago, I got so mad at it because it didn't work that I took a hammer and punched them out. So one of them only left a little hole, and as you probably can see, one of them left a little bigger hole. But it didn't really do much. I actually think it's a pretty cool inclusion. I just worked around it because, like Bob Ross said, there are no mistakes, only happy little accidents. And sometimes it's not about getting the perfect canvas or perfect paint thing to paint on. It's sometimes just to paint and then paint around it or do something crazy or different to like compensate for that. And I'll do the same thing. I'll change a thing that I had previously done because it just works better the other way. I'll do that later on. You'll definitely see what it is. But yeah, and I really think this is one of my greatest paintings. The only thing is that it could be a little bit bigger, and my paintings are gonna get bigger because I ran out of wooden boards. After a pretty long while, actually, I don't have any more wooden boards. So, yeah. I'm gonna paint more stuff in the future, of course, but I don't have that. I don't have that much money this month, and there's a great reason. First of all, I had to put some of my money in savings because, remember to save. Also, like that's also for you guys. Remember to save. At least I put half of my paycheck away in savings, and then I just have the other half to use. I of course still don't want to use everything I have when I like the thing I have left. But I won't be, I will still have saved up. And this month I had to buy new headphones because my old ones broke, and I really love music, so I had to get new ones, and they're great, but they were expensive. And I also had to buy my gym membership, and I buy my membership at a little local gym. Like I buy the yearly version, so I only pay once a year, and it's fairly priced, but it's just a lot of money at once. But I don't have to pay that money every week, and I think I save about 40 kroner every month. I save 40 kroner, which is about, I don't even know what it is, like let's just say $10, $20, $15, something like that. Like that's a pretty substantial amount of money when you count it up in the end. So that's also why, and also because I know I'm not gonna move in the next year, and stuff like that. So yeah. Plus, I like supporting locally. It's close to my school, so after school I can just walk over and work out, and then when I'm done I can go home. That's pretty nice. And I start out with the skin actually on the character. Just getting back to the art. And I start out very pink, and this is actually a pretty nice color, I'm not gonna lie. And if you know how I work, or if you you know that I do a lot of layers. And I do very many layers, and I do very many I don't really like to mix colors on the palette. I like to mix colors on the painting. So I'll just kind of do whatever I want. And it's really a part of my art style. And yeah, I decided to give him black lips because that would just be awesome. Kind of black metal, death metal, gothic-ish. And that's also some of the things that I really get inspired by. Is goth music, goth looks, and black metal, and all these alternative things. They're really cool, and I try to portray that in my characters because the people I paint are definitely they're very stylized, but they're also supposed to be cool people. And yeah, I also think that's a great thing to do. Is take inspiration from real life and real life people who either have a cool look, or someone you see in the bus who looks scary or beautiful or strange or ugly or anything. Take note of things around you and real life people and situations, music, sounds, feelings, experiences. It is generally everything you can gather information from, or just some kind of experience from, paint from that and use that as inspiration and as fuel to say what you want to say. And also a painting doesn't need to have a thing it's talking about. It can have, and there can be some general, like, it's generally some kind of motive or story behind the painting, but there doesn't have to be. Like, most of my paintings don't really have a story. They definitely all have some overlapping things and themes, but they don't generally have like a story behind it where this is about the climate and how we are dooming ourselves and need to save the world. And it isn't like that. It's not a commentary on anything. Like, maybe mine is, because it's a demonic representation of everyday people. Maybe it's the monsters inside of us or something like that, someone would say. But I don't think it is, because personally, I wouldn't say my monsters are supposed to be scary. Well, they are scary, but they're scared. That's the thing about them. They're scared. They're victims, I would say. They're closer to the victim than their abuser, definitely. And especially this one, where he has a claw or a hand on his head. Like, either he's being controlled, or he's being like abducted, like by a big eagle or a scary person. His hand is also broken, as will happen soon, like stuff like that. And so maybe there is a story, or maybe there isn't. I don't can't really decide. Yeah, and I start putting layers, and I don't mix anything. I just kind of, like, sometimes I kind of mix it by using very little paint, so it gets kind of streaky, which I think creates a cool vibe. But sometimes also just layering things upon another things just creates a deeper feeling of color, even if the color isn't like, it's hard to explain, but if you're an artist, you know. That's what I'm gonna say. And of course, the funny and great thing about painting is that everything can be changed. So there's nothing that's permanent unless you want it to be permanent. Like, you can always paint over something, or make something thicker, or make something skinnier, or make something longer, or broader, or wider, or darker and lighter. Like, you can change everything. And I love that. I love that there's this infinite possibility of creating something different. Because with the drawing and painting, and like drawing and stuff like that, and sculpting, there is some physics behind it, what you can do. Like, drawing is kind of the same, but it's not the same as painting. It's the same, but it's different. Especially the way I draw, because I only really draw in black and white most of the time. And with sculptures, I don't do that much sculpting, but there's still some physics and some, like, weights and heights and widths and things you, like, have to how can you say, like, abide by some laws of physics. And here's where the hand, like, kind of went wrong, because I tried to make it something, and it just looked like a tube. Just looked very unnatural, and that's usually what I go for, unnatural, but this time it wasn't in a good way. So I painted over the fingers and the hand, and then I changed it, as you probably have seen in the thumbnail, or as you're gonna see right now. Yeah. And this is a long process. Like, this painting took me, I think, about, like, I don't work just straight on. I work a lot of times in small batches, and sometimes I don't film a lot of stuff. So this time, I'm very sorry, but I didn't catch all of the stuff that I actually did. Yeah, my mom just got home from work. That's why there's a, yeah. Anyway, as I've also said many times, hopefully we'll keep on saying, that I'm an artist before a YouTuber. So, like, my priority is just making art. And that's also why there won't be crazy editing or real extreme camera angles and all that type of stuff. That's definitely makes a better video, but it doesn't make better art. And also why I won't be doing stuff like once a day, because I usually can't make a cool piece on command like that. And I make a thing every day. Like, I make a painting or drawing or something every day. Mostly drawings. And some of them are good, and some of them aren't. And sometimes I don't want to record. Sometimes I want to sit in my bed and just draw with a marker, or sometimes I want to paint. And sometimes I just can't be asked to film, and I think that's okay. Like I keep my priorities secure. That's a hard word. But I'm getting very much more along with the painting now, and it's getting better and better. Especially with the hole I did there, I gave it some like kind of a flowery look. It looks a little bit like a flower, but also kind of doesn't. And that's definitely a place where I took inspiration from something, but didn't really try to make it look like the thing. Mostly because like that's also something you can do. I'd recommend is like painting from real life, but making it like your own and just taking elements from real life things instead of just copying. Because copying something perfectly is cool, but then you're just a camera. Then like why not just use a camera? It's my like what I think at least. But that's probably also because I'm an expressionistic painter and just paint something unrealistic, surreal, crazy things. And that's also like with the way I work from light to dark. So the painting gets darker and darker every time, and sometimes it gets lighter again. So yeah, I'm not really like I don't have a method or a way I always work. I kind of do the same things every time, but not really in the same way and not really in the same like time frame or like however I'm gonna explain it. I also really think that's necessary to be able to change and do things differently from time to time. Just because if we do the same things every time, it becomes kind of stale. And of course, in art, you have a style and an art style, which you need to keep consistently with your stuff, definitely. But you also need to experiment and try new stuff to try and grow as an artist, which is definitely the hardest part, I would say. But yeah, most of the things like in art school, in art and just general life, just keep on doing it until you're good, and at some point you'll get good. Just keep on working on it, keep on doing your best and trying your best. Then something good will eventually come of it. That's at least what I try and do. And at some point, maybe you fail along the way, but it doesn't have to be the end by failing once. Like, you can fail a million times and still keep on trying. Like, it doesn't matter. Especially if it's only yourself that knows you're failing or have failed. Because then it really doesn't matter. Because don't be so hard on yourself. Be happy for yourself that you tried. Oh yeah, this brush was completely stiff. Like, there's no flex in this brush. But also, that also gives it kind of cool texture. And like, that's whole thing, like use weird things to paint with. That's at least what I sometimes try and do. And also I kind of look after trash, because I've made one video before, which is like making trash to art or turning trash into art or something like that, where I took a thing like a metal sign from a bus stop and turned it into a painting or something to hold a painting, which is really cool. And I want to do more found object art, especially like the door, the playhouse door that I painted not that long ago and stuff like that. Because I also think making a unique piece is cool, but having a unique canvas is cooler. Like that's like next level. And stuff like that is not gonna go unnoticed, hopefully. But yeah, I wouldn't say I would know or wouldn't know, but sometimes definitely there's a willingness to stay where you're comfortable, just in general, and kind of want to break free from that. And maybe there's something you've always wanted to do and you're finally doing or finally try to be doing. Like, actually today, as of recording, I'm going to a Halloween party, and I'm kind of alternative, like kind of lukewarm alternative. Like, I'm a bit alternative. I have crazy hair, black nail polish, and kind of punky clothes. But I'm not that hardcore in it, but still a little bit. But one thing I've always wanted to try is like corpse paint and just black metal, cool stuff in general. But I haven't really had the time, and it's kind of extreme for just a random Monday. So tonight at the Halloween party, that's of course what I'm doing, because it fits the thing, fits the plan. So that's pretty good. And I'm having one of my friends, and she's great with makeup. She's also kind of alternative. She does really cool eyeliner and stuff like that. So I was like, hey, can you do it? Can you do it on me? Because I can't do it on myself. And she's like, yeah, that's an awesome idea. So that's our plan. I don't actually know what she's doing. I hope she's doing the same as me. That would be really cool. But again, for us, it isn't that extreme or different. Like, it is extreme, but just an extreme version of what we kind of normally do. But yeah, I don't know. And wow, we're getting really close to the end. So if you watched this far, you're definitely a pretty cool person. Not pretty cool, like a really cool person. So I'm gonna give you a secret word, and like, you can comment this secret word to let me know that you watched the video all the way through, and just let me know like you're a real one. So the secret word will be rat. R-A-T. Rat. R-A-T. Rat. You know, the little thing like a mouse, but bigger and scarier. Rat. That's the secret word. So yeah. Hope to see that in the comments. And also like, and all that stuff. Like, I realized that my views were down this month. Actually, when that happened, the first time I was a little bit, oh no, but the further I got in just like throughout the month, I don't care. I don't really care, and I shouldn't care, because it's just views and stuff. So it doesn't really matter. Of course, I'm not gonna lie, I get happy when I get more views on my videos. But I don't think it's not about the video, it's about the art in the video. But like, that's just how it is, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, my car is also getting fixed, because like some parts of my car needs to be changed, and that costs money. So yeah, that's gonna be fun to pay for. Gonna be so great that I don't even know what to do with myself. But I have that's why I save. That's why I save money, because sometimes there's things you can't get around paying. And car payments for me is a very necessary thing for where I live. Like, I need a car for where I live. I would like to take just the train or the bus and stuff like that, but it just doesn't work great out where I live, because I live kind of secluded, and just also because the buses and stuff don't come that much. I think they drive around like not even once an hour, like once every 2 or 3 hours or something like that. And then they don't drive that late or that early. So like, yeah, it's kind of a mess with public transport and stuff like that. But I try to use it as much as possible. But also my country, Denmark, like, there's a lot of driving, and driving is a lot easier than public transport. That's just how it is where I'm from. But yeah, we're very close to the end of the painting and the video. Yeah. I really hope you like this video, and I really hope that you just like the channel, like me in general. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And I really hope to see you in the next video, or see you on an older video or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, Just want to say bye bye. See you. Bye bye.